very warm welcome to IDFC First Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. I'm Ritwika Gupta and you're tuned in to our very special weekend edition, Super Achievers Making New India, powered by VoiceWhat. Tonight we have two exclusive conversations lined up. In the first segment, I'll be chatting with Amit Gossain, Managing Director, KONE Elevator, India and South Asia. And in the second segment, we are bringing you a conversation with Ankit Gupta and Shobhit Gupta, Joint Managing Directors, Holostik Group. Now, KONE is a global leader in the vertical transportation industry. Its presence in India dates to 1984, and today it is the leading elevator company in India. KONE is proud to announce its new strategy, RISE, for 2025 to 2030. With this strategy, KONE aims to lead the way in enhancing employee and customer experiences, advancing sustainability and driving innovations while continuing to grow and improve profitability. What does the strategy entail and what are the growth opportunities in India? Let's hear it from Amit Gossain, Managing Director, KONE Elevator, India and South Asia. India is on the path of rapid urbanization, with bustling metros to the development of smart, future-ready urban hubs. With India becoming more connected, smarter and sustainable, the demand for safe and convenient vertical transportation continues to rise. Built on a legacy of innovation and commitment, KONE India stands as a pioneering leader in the elevator and escalator industry. By focusing on safety, efficiency and sustainability, KONE India is redefining how people experience vertical movement in modern urban spaces. The company's state-of-the-art research and development centers rank among the world's top 8 R&D centers that work in collaboration with customers, suppliers, strategic partners and research institutes. Home to advanced laboratories, these centers are the birthplace of KONE's most groundbreaking innovations, setting new standards for the future of vertical transportation. Amit, thank you so much for joining us here on ET Now Leaders of Tomorrow. It's a pleasure to be chatting with you today.
It's a great pleasure to be here, Ritwika. Thank you so much.
So we are here to discuss the new strategy period of KONE India, but before that I would like you to tell us a little bit about KONE India, its operations. What can you tell us?
Well, you know, KONE is a 114-year-old company, started in 1910 in Helsinki. So the headquarters is in Finland. So we are listed there as well. Okay. And in this 114 years we've done a lot of innovations which have been game changers for the elevator and escalator industry. We call it the vertical transportation industry. Yeah. India, it's a 40-year journey. This is the 40th year. So we started in 1984 with a joint venture. In 1991, when liberalization happened, 1992, KONE bought 100%. We are today the largest elevator and escalator company in India, a 100% subsidiary of KONE Corporation. In India, we employ about 5,800 employees. We have a factory in Chennai. We also have a technology center which has got close to 1,500 people in Chennai and another about 200 people in Pune. Okay. And then we have about 50 offices for sales and service across India. We also look after Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Nepal and Bhutan through distributors. So that's about us in a nutshell.
Nice. So tell us about the new strategy period. Why is it so important for the company?
Well, we just launched our new strategy. So our global CEO, Philippe Delorme, he launched it about 3 weeks ago. It's called Rise to Lead. Okay. And it's very important because across the world, KONE would do a lot of different shifts to meet the requirements of the customers even better. So there are 4 very clear shifts that we've looked at. One is to accelerate digital across the world. Digitalization is becoming very important. And it's becoming very important in India as well. Second is to drive modernization. Third is to win residential. And fourth is to cut carbon. India is doing so well. We are a very, very digital economy now. There are a lot of actions for digitalization, so that's a natural for us. And we want to be the first ones to do it. So we've actually launched 24/7 connected services, which are IoT-based technology, smart elevators, Then we're driving modernization, a lot of old buildings which require new elevators. And a lot of customers say, why can't I have a KONE in my building? So now you can have a KONE because you've got the technology for a smart elevator in their buildings. Then residential is again almost 70% of the market in India. So government's focus on affordable housing, then there's focus on luxury housing, then middle class want their housing. So here we're driving that whole business of winning in residential in all elements. So we've got the complete range. And sustainability is so important, and most important part of sustainability is cutting carbon. And that as a company we are very focused. We're already carbon neutral in our factory. We have a completely recycled water plant. So it's 100% recycled water there. So a lot of things that we're doing for both Make in India as well as for our customers in India and across the world.
Fantastic. Before we get to understanding this a little better, I actually want to talk a little bit about your experience. You've worked with L&T, JCB, and with your current role here at KONE India. I want to understand how has your leadership style evolved over the years, and specifically how has the role of a leader within the tech space changed over the years?
So when I look at the leadership style, I think there used to be a time when I was a young engineer, very hierarchical way of doing things. But then over a period of time, the management style changed, became more empathetic, became more inspiring. And it also, there were a lot of better communication is really required here. Digitalization, every communication virtually and through digital means.
Absolutely. Amit, you have also worked internationally, like you mentioned, right? When we talk about adapting to technology, taking to tech, right? What are your observations, when it comes to industries taking to technology as compared to their global counterparts? Where do we stand?
I think we are right up there in India because we have a lot of push for softwares. We have the second largest Silicon Valley in India.
Sure.
Bangalore is very big, Hyderabad is big, Noida, Gurgaon, they're all Pune, the big centers. So the technology uptake is very good there. But so is outside India. Now one good thing that I learned from outside is the way they follow the process. In India, I think the process, the way we follow it is not as good as some other Western developed countries, but we are getting there. We're getting much better.
Fantastic. Amit, could you elaborate for us, what is the philosophy and the meaning of we shape the future of cities?
Okay, so this is again a very good question because we as an elevator and escalator company don't say we are an elevator and escalator company. We say we are actually a vertical transportation company. We move people. We move 2 billion people per day. So when you look at a city, the movement of people both horizontally and vertically becomes important. Now when urbanization happens, what happens is the cities are now going more vertical because we are running out of space. So when they're going vertical, we need to have the best form of transportation for them. And that is through elevators, escalators, and a lot of that happens through a lot of traffic calculation. So it's not very easy. Now what we've done is we actually have a lot of digital ways to do it. We have traffic calculations, so we suggest to our lot of developers and builders through our software, through our technology centers, that this is how many elevators that you need to have for your building which is carrying so many people. Sometimes they plan a lot more elevators than what's required. We actually get that sorted as well.
Fantastic. On that note, Amit, tell us what have been your key learnings from the previous strategy phase?
Well, first, the strategy that we had last time was sustainable success with customers.
Okay.
That if you make your customer successful, you'll be successful. And sustainability played a big role in it. And this Rise to Lead is a very important program for that. And the fourth shift that I discussed with you.
Absolutely. Actually, that was my next question, Rise to Lead. How did you come up with that? What was the thought process? What does it mean actually to you as well?
So there were multiple workshops that happened across the world. Thousands of employees gave their input into the strategy. And then they came up with, let's rise to continue to be the best and maintain that lead. So the best gets better. Right. That's what the intent is. And then lead in every form of the business. Sure. So we came up with that jointly as a team of KONE, and then we actually formulated the whole program and then came up with the 4 shifts that are very important for today's world.
Fantastic. I know you have answered this already, but as a big picture, right? Can you talk to us a little bit about how you see KONE India's business, operations and strategy really helping in the development and growth of cities?
Globally, we have one of the largest technology center in India that we've set up, because there are wonderful engineers that are in India. So the whole drive comes to innovate more. For example, we are constantly innovating. We had the first digital elevators, like I mentioned.
Right.
So all this drive, we have the largest elevator in the world. So we actually look at what a customer wants and try and give him what he needs. So the largest elevator in the world is actually in India. It's at the Geo Center in Mumbai, and that's got capacity to carry 235 passengers. Largest passenger elevator.
Great. And finally, as we wrap up this discussion, talk to us a little bit about your market outlook for the vertical transportation industry. Are there any trends that you're excited about? Perhaps you can talk to us about, especially in India.
So firstly, the market is doing well. Last few years, particularly real estate is doing well. When real estate does well, when infrastructure does well, the elevator escalator industry does well. So the trends are very clear. Residential, a lot of focus of the government. Like I mentioned, affordable housing. There is luxury segment housing, middle income group housing, all types of housing coming up. So that's good for our industry. That trend will continue because our population is so huge, incomes are going up. The second thing is you need a lot of metros, you need a lot of railways, you need a lot of airports, which are being built at a very fast pace. And all of these need vertical transportation. All of these need elevators and escalators. So we are geared up for making sure that infrastructure in India becomes world class, and we play a big part in it. So the trends are very clear, but the biggest trend is there is clearly the biggest segment for a market for us is residential.
Well, this was a fantastic conversation, Amit. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's a great pleasure, and thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. And this is our special weekend edition, Super Achievers Making New India, powered by VoiceWhat. In this segment, the spotlight is now on Holostik Group that specializes in providing anti-counterfeiting solutions through advanced security technologies, helping businesses protect their products and brand integrity across various industries. To understand the company's 30-year journey and how they're leveraging technology, innovation and much more, I caught up with Ankit Gupta and Shobhit Gupta, Joint Managing Directors, Holostik Group. Take a look. In today's digital era, where counterfeiting is a growing threat, trusted security solutions are crucial for safeguarding businesses. Founded in 1978 by Umendra Kumar Gupta, the Holostik Group has been the best-in-class developer of security solutions. Operating in over 100 countries, the group continues to redefine innovation under the leadership of Joint Managing Directors Ankit Gupta and Shobhit Gupta. The group also leads multiple ventures in biodegradable packaging, holographic security, digital supply chain solutions, and much more. Established in 1991, Holostik India Limited is the only DSIR certified anti-counterfeiting company in India. It has emerged as the largest Indian exporter of anti-counterfeiting solutions and one of the world's top manufacturers of security holograms. With a legacy of over 30 years, Holostik remains at the forefront of innovation, delivering cutting-edge security solutions to shape a safer future. Ankit, Shobhit, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So I want to start with a broad question. Looking back on Holostik's 30-year journey, tell me what has been the experience like, being a leading name in the anti-counterfeiting solutions sector. What are the key takeaways and what can you really tell us? How has the company evolved over the years?
Holostik was founded by our late father. So it is his vision, it is his innovation, his vision of the future, right, where he realized counterfeiting is an issue and which needs to be addressed. So we got holography to India in the very beginning in 1991-93 phase. From holography, we got into different solutions. We added serial numbers, then eventually barcodes, QR codes, and then security printing. And as solutions kept evolving, we kept adding different technologies to the paradigm, right? And eventually, in the last 4-5 years, we added digital solutions also. So the credit goes to our dad. It's me and my brother now, who is obviously managing the show and taking it forward.
Shobhit?
So as the time progressed, as we understood the need of the market, we realized that we can't really be a product-centric company.
Sure.
So from product, we shifted to a solution-centric company. And now essentially what we do is we are helping saving lives. So when I say saving lives, essentially means because everybody in today's day and age is affected by counterfeit.
So Shobhit, just staying with you, tell me, why is this sector so important, the significance of this sector, especially, why is tackling counterfeiting so important for India's vision, the Make in India vision that we all talk about? What can you tell us?
So counterfeiting is basically selling products or services in the market which are of inferior quality. So when we are consuming counterfeit products, we are not even evading the tax duties, but it will essentially be like we don't want Make in India to become Fake in India.
Absolutely, absolutely. On that note, Ankit, I want to talk to you about some of the cutting edge technologies that you're using, that you're leveraging to, combat counterfeiting. How is Holostik actually using technology in this?
Right. So Holostik fundamentally on the core of it is a hardcore innovation driven company. When I say innovation, we have to keep upping the game, right? Because as just discussed, counterfeiting is something which is here to stay, unfortunately, right? And now, fundamentally speaking, you can bucket it into 3 segments. The first bucket being the physical security, the second being the digital, and the third being the layer which connects the physical to the digital. Sure. So phygital, right? On the physical side, holography is obviously one solution which is very visible, right? And holography also, what people need to understand very clearly is the different generations of holography. So right now what we keep addressing is that it is the 4th generation of holography, which is OVDs, optical variable devices.
Right.
Now to connect the physical to the digital, you need to have either a QR code, barcode, or you can have RFIDs. So we deal with all these technologies under one umbrella.
Fantastic. Shobhit, coming to you, talk to us a little bit about consumer awareness in this sector. Why is it important for consumers to actually be aware of counterfeiting? And of course, are they really aware right now, or do you think much more work needs to be done?
So we've been working a lot with brands, creating a lot of campaigns with them, loyalty programs, to create awareness for their own brands among the consumers. So it's very, very important for the consumers and the brand owners and also solution providers like us to come with solutions which can be offered at POS. So when I say POS, point of sales.
Fantastic. Talk to us a little bit about how the government, and businesses in this sector, can work together more effectively to address, counterfeiting.
As a company which is obviously one of the leaders in this space, we get the opportunity to interact with a lot of government departments and people out there. Their willingness to understand has definitely gone up, but at the same time, I would really request them to really understand the scale. What I would suggest is that there needs to be a standard framework which needs to be developed by the government in tandem using roundtables with people like us to understand the different technologies and how to potentially collaborate, combine them to create the ideal solution for a consumer. An ideal scenario in my mind is where the government actually owns an app like the MyGov app, which has potentially a tab on it which says authenticate.
Right.
Which is driven by a standard framework which is controlled by the government, and on the back end, solution providers like us providing whatever solution to whichever company has to follow that framework of authentication.
Yeah, absolutely. Shobhit, coming to you, as a family-led, family-driven business, tell me, what are the dynamics like? You are both brothers and the company was started by your father. What are the synergies? What are the dynamics like?
So we focus a lot on defining the right KRAs for everybody in the team, and as long as the KRAs are aligned to the vision of the company, to the vision of the organization, then I think everything falls in place. But between us also, we have very, very clearly differentiated between the operational responsibilities. So he's looking after one particular division and I'm looking after a particular division, because we strongly believe in maintaining the culture and the goodwill which we have inherited from our dad.
Ankit, I would also like your take on this answer, especially in terms of advice for entrepreneurs who are watching our show, who are also like probably in family businesses. What can you tell us?
Transparent communication, willingness to have those difficult conversations, right? I think that's very, very critical when it comes to family businesses. The system and the company is more important than the individual.
Sure.
That understanding needs to be there with every family member.
Sure.
It's amazing the way startup ecosystem is growing. At the same time, I think creating a fine balance over there of realism and aggression, right? So I'm not saying no, don't be aggressive, but at the same time, that level of realism needs to kick in.
Absolutely. And staying with you, we spoke about technologies, we spoke about innovation, and innovation seems to be like the core DNA of Holostik. Tell us, how do you then nurture a culture of innovation in your team?
So our team members are encouraged to experiment, and if they fail, that's okay. That's absolutely okay. So that's one. Second would be that actually having a clear budget in our minds that, okay, this is what we're going to be spending every year on innovation, on R&D. The third angle would be collaborations, the collaboration with different premier institutes. And hence, frankly, we are the only company which is identified and certified by DSIR, Department of Scientific Research in India, in the space of anti-counterfeiting.
Fantastic. And well, as we are wrapping up this interview, my final question to the both of you: what is your long-term vision for Holostik? What's the road ahead? Let's start with you, Shobhit.
We want to come up with the right solutions so that people can buy original and not buy duplicate products at all in the market.
Yeah.
So we have to be innovative and we have to be smart enough to come up with solutions which are affordable at the same time. So it should solve the purpose, but at the same time it should be scalable, it should be affordable, and hopefully I think we will be able to achieve it.
Fantastic. Ankit, I'll let you have the last word.
I think the direction which this company is taking and we guys are taking is that we are going to be a smart packaging company, right? Because from physical to digital, right? So we already do that. It's just a question of making that the focus. It's a natural progression which is going to happen, that, right? So a smart packaging solutions company which is going to make the consumer's life easier when it comes to whatever solution he or she is looking for. At the same time, for the company, it's going to be keeping our value system and moral compass very high.
Well, wonderful. It was great chatting with the both of you. More power to you and all the very best. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And with that, it's a wrap on this episode of IDFC First Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. We hope you enjoyed the conversations. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.